Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Brajajannaranjana. Yashodanandana Brajajannaranjana. Yamunatira Vanachariya. Yamunatira Vanachariya. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Madhava Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivaradhari. Yashodanandana Brajajannaranjana. Yamunatira Vanachariya. Yamunatira Vanachariya. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Rama Hare Jaya Radha Madhav Radha Madhav Radhe. Jaya Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai Gaura Nitai. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada 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 Jaya Prabhupada. Gaur Premanande. Jai Om Vishnupad Brahmam Suparijajikar Stotra Sutta Srimad Divine Grace. Abhay Charanarvinde Sri Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki. Jai Om Vishnupad Brahmam Suparijajikar Stotra Sutta Srimad Divine Grace. Srila Bhaktivedanta Saraswati Goswami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki. Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki. Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki. Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam Ki. Jai Gaur Premanande. All glories assembled devotees. All glories assembled devotees. All glories Sri Guru and Gauranga. All glories Srila Prabhupada Ki. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudire Ashtaprayeshu Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavate Sivaya Bhagavate Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naistaki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nandagopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Hare Krishna. Thank you for coming this morning Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today we are going to discuss about Lord Balaram visit to Vrindavan. So Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto 65th chapter text 2 and 3. So this chapter has entitled Lord Balarama visit to Vrindavan. There Goloka enjoyed the company of the cowherd girls and dragged the Yamuna river. This whole pastimes narrate about the story. So as written on the board, so we'll discuss text 2 and 3. So please repeat. Parivaktas Shirokantair Gopir Gopibhir Evacha Ramo Abhivadya Pitaro Ashnabhir Abhinanditaha Parivaktas Chirokantair Gopir Gopibhir Ramo Abhivadya Pitaro Ashmibhir Abhinanditam Parivaktas Chirokantair Gopir Gopibhirivacha Ramo Abhivadya Pitaro Abhinandair Abhinanditaha Parivaktas Chirokantair Gopir Gopibhirivacha Ramo Abhinandata Pitaro Abhibhir Abhinanditaha Asnibhir Abhinanditaha. Please send. Parivaktas Shirokantai Gopir Gopibhirivacha रामो अभिवद्यै पितरौ आस्नभिरभिनन्दितः परिभक्तैश्चिरोकान्तैः गोपैर्गोपीभिरेव च रामो अभिवाद्याय पितरौ आस्निभिरभिनन्दितः परिवर्तैश्चिरोकान्तैः गोपैर्गोपीभिः रामो अभिवद्याय पितरौ अस्निभिरभिनन्दितः परिवक्तश्चिरोकान्तैर्गोपैर्गोपीभिरेव च रामाभिवद्याय पितरौ अस्निभिरभिनन्दितः. Thank you very much. Word meaning: Parivakta is embraced. Chira, for a long time. Utkantaha, who had been in anxiety. Gopai, by the cowherd men. Gopibhir, by the cowherd women. Eva, indeed. Cha, also. Ramaha, Lord Balarama. Abhivadya, offering respects. Pitarau, to his parents. Nanda and Yashoda. Asnibir, with prayers. Abhinandita, joyfully greeted. Translation and purport by disciples of His Divine Grace, Shri Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation: Having long suffered the anxiety of separation, the cowherd men and their wives embraced Lord Balrama. The Lord then offered respects to his parents, and they joyfully greeted him with prayers. Purport: Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives the following words regarding this situation. Nityananda Swarupapi Premo Tapo Vijapaksham Yayu Krishnam Api Takwata Yastvam Rama Muhustumim. Let us repeatedly glorify Lord Balarama. Although he is the original personality of eternal bliss, Nityananda, he felt pained by his love for the residents of Raja, and thus he went to see them even at the cost of leaving Lord Krishna. Text 3 Translation: Nanda and Yashoda prayed, O descendant of Dasaraha, O Lord of universe, may you and your younger brother Krishna ever protect us. Saying this, they raised Sri Balrama into their laps, embraced him, and monstered him with tears from their eyes. Purport: Sri Jiva Goswami comment on this verse as follows: Nanda and Yashoda prayed to Sri Balarama, may you, along with your younger brother, protect us. Thus they expressed their respect for the fact that he is elder brother, and they also showed how much they consider him their own son. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Gnananjanan Salakaya Chakshurunmitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadara Sivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Vanchakalpatarubhasya Kripa Sindhubhaya Vacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah. So, these two verses basically explains the or describes their exchanges of feelings as a parental love. And another point very significant here, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives is how Nityananda, Lord Nityananda is so merciful than Lord Krishna. We see this incident, we see this example in the Chaitanya Charitamrita when Lord Nityananda was hurt by Jagai. In that immediately Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came in the situation with his army and immediately he invoked Sudarshan Chakra and he was about to you know, chop off the head of Jagai. Then Madai stopped him and Madai, and also Lord Balrama says like this, you see my Lord, I am bleeding, the blood all over my body, but I don't feel any tinge of pain. You know, even though he's bleeding all over the body, the blood is going on. Everybody can see that Jagai he was hurt, you know, by Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda was, he was blood all over his body, but he still says, don't go by external. I'm just, this blood is coming out, don't hit. Because the purpose of your incarnation to deliver the fallen conditioned souls. So these two are the classic examples, Jagai and Madai, for this Kali Yuga. In the Kali Yuga, people are all, uh, possess these qualities. No mercifulness, no tolerance, and there is no respect for sadhus, and there is no culture, and there is no dharma. All four regulative principles are breaking these two people. But Lord Nityananda, merciful, is so merciful that in the purport it is mentioned he even left Lord Krishna. You know, cost of leaving Krishna. This is so intense. The Krishna Balram are all together. They are eternally associated. It's not that they, for the sake of pastime, they came together and perform pastime. They are all eternal. Krishna and Balram. We see wherever the Lord Krishna is there, Balram is always present. Maybe we may not see in his personality, we may see his expansion, like we see in the temple or in this paraphernalia or in his Lord Krishna's paraphernalia and Lord Krishna's instrument like flute are all expansion of Balarama. So whenever the Krishna is coming to the material world to perform pastime, immediately Balaram comes. As we see in this Krishna's pastime, before taking birth, Krishna, Lord Balarama took birth to contaminate whatever to clean the womb of Mother Devaki. Clean in sense, this Mother Devaki was pure devotee, of course, we know that. but at the same time he makes sure that arrangements is taken care properly in her womb, and make sure that all the contaminations are removed. And because before, as we see in this material world, before a VIP comes, his assistant comes first. He makes sure that everything are in proper place. So similarly, Lord Balarama is so merciful. We can understand by this verse. So that's why Lord Balarama is glorified. And one more thing, we see in the festivals, first Nityananda Trayadasi, then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's appearance. Correct. And then in the Krishna's pastime, first Balram Jayanti, then Krishna Ashtami. And another thing is that you see the festival time, Nityananda Trayadasi we fast till noon, whereas Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appearance we fasting till evening. And again in the another festival, Balram Jayanti we fast till noon, and Janmashtami we fast till midnight. This is some more of the. It's not that we are taking advantage of it, but at the same time we are Lord Krishna and Balarama. Lord Balarama is showing how merciful he is. One should take shelter of Balarama, then only he can perform devotional service. And we say in our scriptures, spiritual master is expansion of the Balaram, correct? Or Nityananda Prabhu. So, without help of Lord Nityananda, we cannot advance in devotional service. We cannot approach Lord Krishna without help of Lord Nityananda. So, whenever wherever the pastimes taking place, Lord Nityananda first or Balaram comes first and make sure that everything is in place, and and next Lord Krishna comes. We see that Lord Balaram is so merciful that even he he teaches the the art of fighting. We see in the Mahabharata he teaches Duryodhana the art of fighting, the Gada fighting, club fighting. You know, we know that Duryodhana how cruel he was, how demonic nature he is, but he still extend himself to teach. So by this incident we can understand Lord Balrama is so merciful, and that's why he's been glorified by his parents. There is so much love for Krishna and Balram in the Vraja. As soon as they see Lord Balram, they immediately embraced him and they praised him, and then again they blissfully enjoyed their association. And the gopis of the same mother's age, they greeted him. Basically, as I said in the beginning, this verse, this verse describes the exchange of feelings. See, as we see in this Kali Yuga, the feelings, emotions, compassion, and mercifulness, tolerance are all going down. By the advancement of Kali Yuga. When in the olden days, like say suppose 30, 40, 50 years ago, there were no this globalization of communication. There were no internet. But when the people travel from one place to another place to visit their family, to visit their parents, or to visit their friends, relatives, they used to have their affection, correct? They are more eagerly waiting for them. As soon as they come, they embrace them, they greet them. And nowadays, what happened, by the mercy of internet, we call each other video call, we talk sometime, and we have chat sometime, and then say bye. When we go to the place, there's no much of feelings exchanges, because there's already it's a mind set up that we see each other in the day-to-day basis through the phone, or through the internet. And these are good, but at the same time we should understand the values are going down, the affections are going down. We see that when we go to the relatives place. It's an example, just in general. You know, they expect what we are, especially Indians. When they go to US to America, America to India, they expect what you brought for me, what gift you brought for me. If you brought something costly, something very expensive, then only we like it. It is, it is like what you when did you it's not a matter of when did you came, how are you, but what did you brought, what gift you brought. It is said by His Holiness Radhana Swami Maharaj. you know we often use people, love things. We use people for our needs, and we love things what they bring, but it should be other way around. We should use things, love people. We should use things. For example, you got some gift, we should use them, and we should love people. But nowadays we see that other way it is happening. We just love things, but use people for our needs, our concern. But at the same time, we should know what are our needs and what are our wants. Our needs are going less day by day. Our wants are going high day by day. What you need, we don't know, but what we want we know, because the wants and needs are imbalance. Here we see there is so much love and affection. They embrace, first they embraced, they greeted them, Lord Balram, and because Lord Balram left Krishna, Lord Balram will never leave Krishna, but for is so merciful that he left Krishna. For what? For that love. The Vrajavasis' love are so high that even though Krishna doesn't have a time, or due to pastime Leela he didn't came, but for that love, for that affection, because they have been suffering for a long, long time. You know, when Akrura came to the Vrindavan, when the Krishna Balaram are young age, they took them to the Mathura, just to see the match, or just to see the Mathura city. From that time till now, they didn't have an association of Lord Krishna and Balaram. That's why it is said it's a long time suffering. Because they have long time suffering, because they have long time separation, and they are all confusion, they are embraced him. Then the proper behavior is described. So this is what basically described in the text 2, and we see just text 3. And in the text 3, so Nanda and Yashodhana prayers, offer their prayers to the Balaram. O protector of the universe, O protector of the everyone, and they took their Balaram into their laps, and they embraced him, and with the tears. This is so emotion. When the separation is being there for a long, long time, and that's why emotion comes out. That's why when emotion comes out, when tears comes out from your eyes. No. So Srila Jiva Goswami says again in the purport. So they are basically they are prayers, offering prayers to Balaram, and not only Balaram, Krishna also, and they are praying, may you and your younger brother protect us, and they express their respect, in fact, and also they showed how much they consider him as a son. It is not that, oh, you are not born from our womb, you are not our son. Basically, it happens nowadays. Even with the same brother, even with the same parents, the future parents will show some affection, more affection to the one child, and another affection, some little less affection to the another child. It happens, but here this is all transcendental, lila. So this is what I'm expressing. their feelings. And I just read the further Jiva Goswami comments. So protect us for a long time indicates that they blessed the Balarama with a long life and strength. Calling him Lord Balarama, the Lord of Universe, also blessing. Though they are also Dasharas, they described him as such to indicate him as a son of Vasudeva, since as the chief of the Yadus, distinguishing from the Kauravas and Pandavas. Though the Nanda had more affection for Krishna as his own son, he protected Balarama as his own son also, since he regarded his brother sons and his own son. This showed that Nanda intense affection for Vasudeva, thinking of Vasudeva himself. So it is exchanges of love, It's not Nanda Maharaj is thinking, oh, this is his son, because he himself got into that mood, got into that um, affection, got into the love. He thinks Balarama is also his son. Thus, he regarded Balram as his own son by saying, with your younger brother, Sahuja. He indicates that again regarded of Balram as his own son. He took Balrama as his main son and Krishna secondary by saying, along with your younger brother. In this saying, pleasure protect us. So, so this is a so much pleasure by saying it's not that out of pain, it's not that out of separation from Krishna. There's so much pleasure. So this indicates without any distinction of all Yadus. So embarrassing him for a long time and moment, he thought that inappropriate to discard others. So basically, so two things are described. There is no distinguish, and there is no partiality, and there is no artificial love. It is natural. And Sanatana Goswami comments similarly that protect us from all kinds of dangers. You know, even though he protect them, but without his presence, you know, we know that Krishna and Balaram protector of the whole world, ex- especially the devotees. So we should also pray for their mercy, and we should also learn lesson from Nanda Maharaj. We should not go directly towards Krishna and ask for protection. We should, protect. We should ask protection through Balaram. It's not like just we sing in Mangalarti, Yasya Prasada, Bhagavat Prasada. From the spiritual master, we'll get Krishna. It's not that directly we get Krishna. So calling him, directly Krishna, basically we see that some of the people they call, directly they wanted to have relationship with Krishna, but that doesn't work like that. So we should go through proper channel, then only mercy flows. Otherwise, it is like Shahaji as like some of the upper sampradayas. They just want Krishna. They just don't want another anything else. So basically, Nanda Maharaj teaching us two lessons. One, we should not distinguish, and second, we should not approach directly Krishna, and we should not artificially uh, praise, but you should offer. When you love Nityananda, obviously, it is not that Lord Nityananda will not direct us towards Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. When you love Lord Nityananda, when you perform devotional service, Lord Nityananda, then obviously that will make you increase more and more love towards Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Similarly, when you do devotional service, Lord Balram, and that will have increased more and more love towards Krishna, Radha and Krishna. It is not that like we see there are so many things. I don't want to name it. They think that, oh, if we love only this particular demigod, we may not get the mercy, oh, we should love only this particular demigod. No, it's not like that. It's not mundane like that. Because these are all speculation. Just as there are so many pastimes regarding Lord Shiva's. When a sincere devotee prays to the Lord Shiva will direct towards Krishna. If you are not sincere, you are just praising Lord Shiva for material benefit, you will awarded by material benefit. So by the strength of Lord Nityananda, we can approach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. By the strength of Lord Balaram, we can approach Krishna. Of course, when you approach uh, Lord Nityananda or Lord Balaram, there is no separate endeavor for approaching Krishna and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. It automatically comes out. So, there is no much discussion from my side, so I will stop here. So if you have any questions, comments, we can discuss.
Um, Thank you for your class, Prabhuji.
Mhm.
Um, you mentioned how um, now we have the internet where we can basically see all over the world from a screen. Um, and this is something that's pretty new. So um, I was wondering if you have any thoughts about how there was a time when sannyasis had to travel all over the world, always travel, travel. Now you can actually travel by pressing a button. Your picture can you can be present as far as teaching and preaching constantly all over the world without actually traveling. So, would you say that? Well, one thought is, do you think there's a difference between being on the screen and being in a place and actually traveling there? Um, what would be maybe some thoughts about it?
Yeah. See, basically, we should understand the purpose of traveling. Um, what is the purpose behind of traveling, and what is the benefit for all the people in general? These two things we can understand. We see in the Bhagavatam, Vidura also travels all over India, and Lord Nityananda also travels basically to lift up the consciousness of the people and to connect with them to Lord Krishna. And that is the purpose of the traveling. And another thing is people travel for pilgrimages, for the holy places, to purify themselves. That is also one of the purpose. And we should take advantage as sannyasis. We travel all over the place, and they elevate the consciousness of the people in general and devotees, and to enhance their Krishna consciousness and to glorify the Lord. And so that is a purpose, is a good purpose. Like Vidura also travels, and Maitreya Rishi, he meets with Maitreya Rishi, he asks the questions, and um, there there was a one verse, bhutani bhavani janardana say, it is said that the great saintly people travel all over the world to deliver the fallen conditioned souls, to annihilate dharma, and people who are away from the Krishna, and janasya moha vimukasya daivat adharmashila sudukkatasya anugrahena charananti nunam bhutani bhavani janardanasya. So the people in general, they are turned away their face from Krishna. Janasya moha vimukasya daivat. And adharmashila sudukkhadasya. So what is the result of that when the people turned away from the Krishna? Then sudukkhadasya. Not only dukkha, sudukha means the word su added here. Means even more. More dukkha. More suffering. Not only suffering, intense suffering. Sudukkhadasya. Anugrahena charananti nunam. So to give them mercy, and give them Krishna consciousness, Bhutani Bhavardhani Janardana. So they will travel out of the place and they will praise the Lord and everybody, so that everybody can connect to the Krishna. So that's the purpose. That's my thought. Thank you.
Yeah, very nice class.
Thank you.
You mentioned one point that we should not distinguish. No, I remember in one song that by Narottam Das Thakur, I think, Gorangara Diti Pada, in that song,
Mhm.
it has been mentioned devotees should not distinguish between the devotee of Vrindavan and devotee of Mayapur. There should not be no uh, distinguish. So that's what I was thinking. Just I added.
Yeah, yeah. There is in Chaitanya Charitamrita,
Veda
there is one,
Varna dekhi.
one Leela, one devotee is a Brahmana, he plays a flute, that pastime. Yeah, exactly what happens, I'll describe. Basically, um, he was attached to the only, and he thinks only Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the supreme Lord, and his mood was to directly approach him. Basically, his mood was to only uh, attach it to the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without considering, without mercy of Lord Nityananda. So, and I think he was a brother of Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. Yes, I think he's a brother of Krishna Das Kaviraj Goswami. I don't remember his name. He only considered Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as a person glorification. He only considers Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is the supreme Lord. There is no other than him, greater than him or equal to him. Of course, which one sense, you know, his mood was to ignore Lord Nityananda and to not consider Nityananda is a expansion of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and he considered Nityananda to be an ordinary person. That is the main offense. So he considered Nityananda is an ordinary person. He considered Nityananda was not a guru. He considered Nityananda Prabhu is one like a basic thing, like one of the regular person in the material world. And in that he was offending to the Lord Nityananda. When you offend Lord Nityananda, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not pleased. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not happy. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu will not give mercy. Like we see in the pastime of Jagai Madai, now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave mercy to Madai, not Jagai. First, he because he stopped Jagai hitting further. Why did you hit this saintly person? He's so saintly person. He's not harmful, and he's so uh, you know so merciful, and he's so humble, and he's saintly, and he doesn't do any harm to any person. Why did you hit that? He stopped. That's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gave mercy to first him, not to Jagat. So by this, in that incident, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Lord Nityananda is first, is my personal associate, and his body is my body. You know, I care more than my body to his body. I love Lord Nityananda more than myself. This is the words told by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Yeah. By that we can understand how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu loves Nityananda. So at the time when he hit, he was not happy. So at the same time, uh, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami's brother, when he was directly approaching Chaitanya Mahaprabhu without having seen Lord Nityananda, then he did not give mercy. By that incident, immediately in his dream, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami got his dream that he should go to somewhere and start performing devotional service. Then immediately next day he left his place, brother's place, and even there's so many pastimes in the Ramayana Leela, in Ramayana also when Angad Wali, he first he did not recognize Lakshman, and he just only praised Rad Ramchandra. We see that pastime fight between Angad and Wali. Then that is also one of the pastime. So yeah, first we should approach Lord Nityananda. Then only we can approach. Then only automatically we'll get attached to the Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. That's the thing. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhupada has given a very nice word. This is called Ardha Karkatanaya.
Ah.
Ardha Karkatanaya means one hen.
Yes.
You say, I want only, I think so, remember one time we were discussing. So that means I want the front side, I want the back side of the hen.
Right.
I don't want front side. Because the front side, I have to feed the hen. So, but on the back side, I have to get the egg.
Correct.
So, I want back side.
Correct.
So, this decision is called Ardha Kukatanaya.
Correct.
Means like thinking Lord Chaitanya as the Supreme Personality of Godhead and Lord Nityananda is an ordinary householder.
Right.
This is just like that.
Yeah.
The scripture says.
Correct. Thank you for bringing that point. Yes. Good.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. We'll stop here. Grantaraj Bhagavatam ki, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki, Lord Nityananda Mahaprabhu ki, Jai Gaur Premanande.